Well, greetings, vinyl community, and welcome to VC Friday. The first order of business today is actually not a vinyl record because I just received this new release from Jerry King's Cloud Over Jupiter, Atomic Jupiter, and really wanted to talk about this. This is a great and fiery example of modern progressive rock music. It does have some of the DNA of the classic 70s prog rock. You might hear some Focus. You might hear some of the instrumental side of Genesis, something along the lines of maybe In That Quiet Earth, some Henry Cow, definitely some Canterbury DNA in there by way of the American offshoot of the Canterbury sound, the Muffins. And that's no coincidence because two members of the Muffins appear on this album, Dave Newhouse on woodwinds and keyboards, and Paul Sears on drums. There are a lot of folks I know playing on here besides Jerry himself. I've got a few of my other online and real-life friends playing here. Yes, I do have friends, so you may not think it to look at me. Gary Maiulo, very fine drummer, is actually not playing drums here. He opens the album with a very confident a cappella vocal part. Other folks that play on here include Amanda Chowdhury on synthesizer, the vinyl community's own Derek Higgins on bass and synthesizer. We've got the two Muffins I mentioned. Rick Parnell, the late Rick Parnell, formerly of Atomic Rooster, plays drums on here. Nick Didkovsky of Dr. Nerve, and a couple members of Coloratura. I showed Coloratura's latest album a few months ago, and Ian Beabout plays flute on one track here. He also mastered and mixed this album. And his Coloratura partner Derek Pavlik also plays on here. So it's got that DNA as well. My favorite tracks include Leviathan, Leviathan, great pounding number, very riffy, very ominous sounding. Lazarus. Lazarus actually, in a way, to me, sounds kind of wacky. It's got a really kind of sour comedy to it, I feel, in the way the ostinatos happen, the the way the rhythms work. And in particular, there's a kind of woodwind chord thing that sounds like big band music. It sounds like, to me, Glenn Miller of all things. Great track, Lark. Listen to this lineup. It's got Nick Didkovsky opening guitars, Derek Pavlik on guitar, Michelle King, Jerry's wife, is on the piano, Amanda Chowdhury on synthesizer, Derek Higgins on synthesizer and bass, Rick Parnell on drums, Paul Sears on percussion and drums, Jamie Brune on bass, Steve Kuhn on guitar, Jerry King on bass, rhythm guitars, and arrangement. So that's really full, and together they make just an epic multi-part piece. And that is very nicely followed, because it's such a blistering piece of music, by the softest piece on the album, Last Cloud, which is just Ian Beabout on flute, Dave Newhouse on keyboards, and Jerry King on acoustic guitars. And finally, the album ends with another blazing epic, one of the few songs with vocals that come in the second part. These songs are all separated by just the briefest of silences. You have to really be paying attention to know which song you're listening to because it almost blends together. And Lovecraft, the final track, has two very distinct parts to it. The instrumental half and the vocal half, which are very distinct. And I'm a sucker for odd meters, so I love the fact that they go into 17 in there, which is a 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 rhythm. And that's what ends the album with, as you might expect from the title, Lovecraft, some references to the old master of eldritch horror himself. And here on the inner sleeve we can see Jerry King in his Cthulhu incarnation, and Michelle there on the other side. Be a little further look at the artwork. This album is officially released on September 6th, which is a Bandcamp Friday. So I expect that'll be up on Jerry's Bandcamp page for Cloud Over Jupiter. I'll post a link for that below. It is released through Melodic Revolution Records, so I'll link to their website as well. And on Bandcamp Friday, you should definitely purchase a copy of that. You should definitely purchase all of my albums if you haven't already, and I think most of you haven't, so get on it. You don't have to wait for Bandcamp Friday. Go out and buy those puppies. Right. Okay, the next item I have to show is a bargain bin find. The Koto music of Japan. This is part of the None Such Explorer series from the 1960s. This was originally released in 1965. This copy has the blue None Such Explorer label, which I think means it's a 70s pressing. This is music for koto, and there is the koto itself. The instrument is basically a curved plank about 6 feet long with strings running across and bridges for the tuning with a long space on either side of the bridge so the player can pluck the actual sounding half and then put pressure on the other half to alter the pitch and create inflections. They've also got a couple of flute players there. There is a shakuhachi, the end-blown flute, on one track here. It's not purely koto. It has a couple of pieces for solo koto, a couple of pieces for koto duet, one piece for 2 kotos and shakuhachi, and one piece for koto shamisen and shakuhachi, the shamisen being a string instrument. They don't give us a picture of that one here. And vocals, which are not credited at all. I'm guessing that the shamisen player is also the singer, but it doesn't tell us that. It doesn't tell us a lot about the performers. You notice they're identified as Master Hagiwara, Master Hata, Master Kitigawa, Master Kikusui, Master Miniuchi, and Master Yamaguchi. The term master is apparently not gendered because I believe most of the players are women. You can't actually tell from the liner notes. It gives some first names and some pronouns, but others remain a mystery. And I don't have a lot of info about the specific players. But it does in the liner notes give us some of the background of the moods behind the pieces of music, their functions. One is a folk song, one is music for spring, one is music to accompany weaving, others are based on traditional Japanese folklore stories, and there we go. I did not buy the David Bowie CD box set, Rock and Roll Star, but I did just receive the single LP distillation of that, and this is great. This is all outtakes and alternate versions and new mixes of tracks from the Ziggy Stardust era. Great track listing. It begins with Hang On To Yourself. This is really looking funny in the little monitor on my camera, the reflection. It's very shiny. And I'm trying to figure out what it is that it's reflecting, because I'm seeing some colors here. Oh, that's the door. That's the closet door. I get it. Okay. Hang On To Yourself is the opening track. Really disconcerting because it's musically very similar to the very familiar version from Ziggy that we've all heard a million times, and you want to sing along with it and groove along to it, but it just takes a left turn in the chorus and he sings "Don't Put Me On" instead of "Hang On To Yourself." So why is it even still called that? We've got alternate versions of songs from the album like Star and Lady Stardust and Starman. A remake of the Superman. I don't know why he would remake the Superman during the Ziggy sessions, having already released it on an album 2 albums earlier, but there you go. It's got the electric version of Holy Holy. That's a song I've always really dug. It's got Round and Round, which was left off the Ziggy album, the cover of the Chuck Berry classic. It's got Velvet Goldmine, few less familiar songs like Looking for a Friend, It's Gonna Rain Again, and Sweet Head. It's got the version of John, I'm Only Dancing that begins Annie's Very Sweet, not the Annie's Pretty Neat version. So this one is sweet, not neat. Great song, one of my favorites. And finally it ends with the cover of Can't Explain by the Ooh, the Horrible Ooh. The gray mock RCA label with the Bowie logo there.
Oh, she's a tongue twist sweet. She'll be coming to the show tonight. Right to the light machine. She wants the honey, never nanny. She's a funky tie collector. She's a virgin. We're the spiders from Mars. So come on, come on. We've really got a good thing going. So come on, come on. If you think we're gonna make it, hang around. But don't put me on, baby, lady.
So I didn't really realize I was a collector of these. It kind of snuck up on me. But my favorite Beatles album is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I've shown previously this album on Impulse, A Day in the Life, where Impulse artists remake the songs from Sgt. Pepper. But I have quite a few covers of the entire Sgt. Pepper album. I have the Cheap Trick, Sgt. Pepper's Live on CD. I have the Andy Timmons Band, Sgt. Pepper, without the apostrophe S. This is just a power trio, just guitar, bass, drums, doing an instrumental version of Sgt. Pepper. And that sounds like it might be kind of stripping all the color out of it. Sounds like it might be kind of boring, but it's still really nice. This is a very enjoyable album. The Big Daddy Sgt. Pepper's. This is What If Sgt. Pepper's Had Been Recorded in the 50s. And The Flaming Lips, With Little Help from My Friends. I wanted to get this on the orange vinyl, but some wires got crossed and I somehow ended up with just the CD version, so that's what I have. But what I have to show today is the Easy Star All-Stars and their album Easy Star's Lonely Hearts Dub Band. And this is Sgt. Pepper's done in reggae. It has different guest artists on the various tracks, which is standard for the Easy Star All-Stars. They have different songs fronted by the Mighty Diamonds, Max Romeo, U-Roy, Steel Pulse, and a number of others. And this is just so much fun. They are surprisingly faithful to the original melodies, because there are a lot of places where you can feel them wanting to straighten things out and give it a more reggae sound, and they don't take that way out. They keep true to the contour of the original melodies, and I like that. They do give some subtle changes to the lyrics. I particularly like Woke Up, Fell Out of Bed, Dragged a Comb Across My Dread. No fancy gatefold cover though, no insert, no credits other than the list of the guest artists on the individual tracks. So they refer you to a website if you want more info.
Father snows as his wife gets into her dressing gown. Picks up the letter that's lying there. Standing alone at the top of the stairs, she breaks down and cries to her husband, Daddy, our baby's gone. Why would she treat us so thoughtlessly? How could she do this to me? She is leaving. She's leaving home after living alone for so many years.
And that is it for this week. Next week I'll have Moon Zappa on discussing her favorite persimmon cookie recipes. Oh wait, she had to cancel, sorry. She's got to do her toenails that week. So I'll figure something else out. Thanks very much for watching. Be well. I will talk with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.